Hello, everybody, and welcome to Back and Forth. I'm your host, Gecko Man, and sitting beside me is our co-host, Rogue Gambit, the man that movies led him to believe all superheroes were billionaire playboys.
Why movies? Why?
I can think of a few reasons.
Well, we'll start off with the first reason being one of the greatest video games of all time.
Yeah, we're not talking about movies, we're talking about a video game today.
Yes, we are.
Could be talking about the Spider-Man video game.
Yes, I don't remember if I mentioned this last week. I know I mentioned it the week before that, but right now is Sunday was the 60th anniversary of Spider-Man in the comics, so that's why we've been doing so much Spider-Man stuff recently. And we're moving on. We did comic, and now we're moving into a video game.
Yeah. I'm actually really excited to talk about the video game right now.
That's the Spider-Man video game for the PS5. It's not the 2003 Spider-Man video game for like Nintendo 360 or whatever.
Yeah, there's all those great Spider-Man games out there, but we're going to talk about this one. We might go into those other ones later in the future, like way in the future. But yeah, so today I'm going to be mainly talking about the gameplay, and Rogue Gambit over here.
I'll be our resident expert on how they compare to the comics and such.
Yeah. So I think we should start out with how the game starts.
Okay, how does it start?
Well, so if I remember correctly now, mind you, I haven't played this in a good long while, but how it starts is he's waking up, gets an alarm, and he realizes he's late to something. Can't remember exactly what he's late to, but I think it's to his job working with Dr. Octavius.
Mm-hmm. I think right.
He goes through, and he's all of a sudden you're instantly playing as him. Like you're already playing as Spider-Man. You're having to go into a car chase. After that, it goes into Kingpin. Going to Kingpin, you're doing all this crazy stuff, fighting a bunch of guys, fighting Kingpin, all this stuff. So, what do you think of the opening part of this?
All right, so first off, we'll start with Peter Parker. He is working for Dr. Otto Octavius. Mm-hmm. And just like Kevin Feige, Peter Parker being a scientist is one of my favorite parts about him.
Oh yeah.
So we get to see him, doing sciencey things, show his intelligence. You get a lot of story, I guess, where he is solving problems for Mr. Octavius. He's definitely doing what an assistant type character would do. And that, in the comics, he works as a scientist for a lot of different scientists.
Yeah.
Most
notably
occurs Kurt Connors.
Yeah.
And I feel like Dr. Otto Octavius kind of took that Kurt Connors role that's in the comics. Like in the comics, right? Kurt Connors, right? He's working for him, and he also has this side to him that can take over, right?
Yeah.
And that was very much how it seemed that they were doing Otto Octavius, in the comics, right? Dr. Octopus is just evil, pure evil. In the other adaptations of it, of course, he has he's a good man, but he has a chip that malfunction or whatnot. But and they have, of course, that is the story in the later comics when they get into his backstory. But I do I think it was a good choice because I thought Kurt Connors.
I'm sorry, who?
I feel like Kurt Connors has kind of been overdone as that character.
I can agree with that.
And Dr. Octavius as just a villain has kind of been overdone. Mm-hmm. So kind of balancing the two, I think, was done well.
Oh yeah. Just some good choices in a lot of the characters that they chose. Good villain choices as well. So what do you going into the next question here? This kind of goes off the rails, but I feel like it's kind of a good move in. What do you think of their villain choices for this Spider-Man game?
So I don't know if I'll remember all of them. I don't really want to get into spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
So I will call the villain Negative Man, the main villain.
Oh yeah. That is his villain name, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So, diehard comic fans will know who that is in the comics, and people who have played the game might know who that is. If they've gotten that far, maybe they won't.
Yeah. So,
So we'll start off, I guess, with the main villain, Negative Man. I think so. In the comics, he has a very different backstory than he has in the game. That's why I didn't want to really give it away, because it's a little bit of a twist in the game. I really was. I haven't read too many of the comics with him in it, so I didn't know his backstory too much, but I did know the generals of it, and they kind of tried to blend it with like another story to give it the twist, and I thought they did a good job. I really enjoy his original story. I think that would have been good too. It could have really blurred the line with Kingpin though, so they didn't really want to do that. Kingpin in it was good. Octavius, of course, really good. Vulture, didn't get too much time with him, but he was very much. That's kind of how Vulture is. Like, he just kind of shows up a lot of the times in the comics, and so it made sense. Rhino. I don't remember. Oh, I remember fighting Rhino.
that annoyance.
Yes, his annoying fight always is. But that's how it is in the comics, right?
Yeah.
He's really hard to stop just because he's
Yeah.
impervious to most things. But they did him well. What's the group called that they're fighting against for the most part? The Negative Man's little group. What do they call them? With the masks.
I don't know.
Anyways, that organization was it the Hand they're using? Yeah, the Hand.
Yeah.
Of course, always fun, and just like bringing that aspect of like skilled fighters that he has to take down.
Yeah.
Of course, always fun. I liked most of the battles. Let's see, is there any other villains
What
I'm
about
missing?
like Scorponok or Electro?
Oh, Electro. I thought they did Electro quite well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember him in it.
Really?
I know who that is, but I'm not remembering him. Is he one of the like really early in the game?
I think he's one of the early ones.
Okay.
Actually, I'm maybe thinking of. Oh, well, I know they do the same villains in Miles Morales.
A lot of them are the same.
Yeah, except for one. But in the first Spider-Man, I think it's Scorponok, Rhino, Vulture, Electro, Mr. Negative Man, whatever his name is, and whoever else was there. When there's one guy missing there, because it's supposed to be the something 7. I forget what their name. Or Sinister 6 or whatever. Yeah. So Scorponok. Yeah, I don't think he was in that much.
Yeah, but I do remember Scorpion when you had to fight Scorpion and Rhino at the same time.
Yeah, that was annoying.
Yeah, Scorpion. I mean, his backstory's so terrible in the comics that I don't really care what people do with it. So
Okay.
They did kind of play off of it, right, with J. Jonah Jameson
Yeah.
stuff. But
all right. Okay. Now moving on from that. How about our heroes and their side characters as well?
all right, so let's start with J. Jonah Jameson then.
Knew we would get into him at some point.
They did a good job, of course. I really like how him and Spider-Man kind of interacted, right?
Oh yeah, that was good.
Spider-Man just like hearing all this stuff. I've liked how prevalent his news, because like in the comics that's how it is, right? The Daily Bugle is the most popular paper, as we got into later comics and there was internet and blog, billboards everywhere, like he was everywhere, and they played that really well. And I liked they did a good job with Peter Parker's reactions to that, and then like very much felt like his comments where he's like commentating what's going on and everything. And they definitely didn't like take it too far with like having him become a villain, like I feel like they've done sometimes in the comics, like with Scorpion, and it didn't really. There's a reason those aren't as popular, because like it's not who he is, right? Like
exactly,
he does care about the New Yorker, right? He does care about the city. It's just he has a vendetta against Spider-Man. So yeah, I enjoyed him and their interactions. They also didn't make him a big part where like there was a story where you had to save him or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Which there's a few that are fun in the comics, of course, where they have to spend a day together, so they're funny. But yeah, then MJ. I thought they did Mary Jane very well.
So first off, I just want to point out, I actually don't know much about MJ from the comics at all, except for like Spider-Man Blue and some other comics that I've read. So was she closely at all to the comics?
Personality-wise, yes.
Okay.
Personality-wise, she's close. There are comics where she is a reporter, but for the most part, she's not. And I definitely prefer her being more
the not reporter,
like having different interests, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And Spider-Man, like her being like so closely tied to Spider-Man, it's fine. But like that's not who she. It's not like what makes them compatible, you know. And so I don't necessarily like that change.
Okay.
But I do like how like they definitely show like the strong side of her, like
oh yeah,
how she's willing to take risks and how like who Spider-Man is like influences that.
Mm-hmm.
And like negatively or positively, you know, she's willing to put herself in danger more often because she knows Spider-Man will always try to save her, but also like how that like has affected the relationship and like the manipulations there and things and like things that they have to work through because of that. So I thought they did a really good job. I really liked the relationship. I thought they did a really good job of portraying that well. Aunt May, they did well. They went with a younger version of that's in the comics and course, the earlier movies, more like the more modern movies, but I thought they did a good job with her, and I really they went with a lot of like the more modern comics too, of her being part of Feast, being such a big part of the community.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that like Peter Parker, because of who Aunt May was like known to the people too, like showed that he helped too. Yeah. He was on the streets as Peter Parker just as much as Spider-Man, which was really nice. Miles Morales and his dad, of course, show up. That was good. Any other characters you want to talk about that?
I think that's about it for characters. Maybe we could talk about Dr. Octavius a little bit. You already did.
Him a little bit.
You did mention him a little bit. I think that's about it then. There are some other like just very minor characters like Tombstone who shows up.
I love Tombstone in the comics and the TV shows, man. I really hope we get a good depiction of it in a movie someday.
Yeah. What did you think of him like running a biker gang in this?
I mean, that's fine, just because like there was so much like, and they do try to do this in those type of video games all the time. Like anyways, I'll let you do the video game comparisons.
Yeah, let me do the video.
But where they have, you know, a lot of gang type entities like the hands in there where you need a group of people to fight to like get you involved in the game so much. So I mean, in that world, I'm totally fine with it. Yeah, okay. I don't think necessarily that's his character. Like, where he really shines as a character is as like the number one henchman, and like he's more of like in the office, you know. He even came to prominence not even as like a henchman. Of course, he originally was. He came to prominence more as a henchman later, but he first appeared in the comics as like a king, almost a kingpin of sorts, where he was very wealthy, philanthropic person who just was behind the scenes because of the way he looked, right? And I really think that's where he could really shine in the movie, sort of like, especially if we're having this street level. I'm getting into movies here, but if we're having this street level thing with the Kingpin, I will talk about this later.
No, that's fine. Okay. Other than that, I don't remember any other side characters. I guess. Oh, what about Detective Choi? Is that her name?
Fantastic. I really like the comics with her. I think like they did a good job of bringing her to life. I hope that we get more of their relationship in future Spider-Man video games.
Yeah, which Don't know when this Spider-Man game is coming out. Maybe it's already out
No, it's coming out pretty. I think it's next February.
next February.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was
Spider-Man.
the last I'd seen. It might have been
Spider-Man
mid, of
2
course.
next February. Don't take our word for it. Yeah. So yeah. So moving on from characters, we can talk a little bit about gameplay here. I just want to say though, I loved the gameplay in it. It had a little of the Arkham series gameplay feel to it,
Yep.
but it had with its own aspect. With Spider-Man being Spider-Man, you could swing around. Swinging has to be the best part of the game.
Yeah.
For those of you who do play it, if you use the subway, that's fine. Use it, but like
We'll judge you for it.
we'll judge you for it. Like the subway, sure you could take it. Like I think you're forced to take it.
If I take it once.
Yeah, which is annoying. But I did like how the loading screen wasn't just like maybe a spinning
Yeah.
thing or anything. It was him
I mean,
actually.
yeah, video games has done such a good job of getting rid of the loading screens.
Oh, yeah.
And more, you've got games like, why am I talking video games here? Anyways, Control and stuff that they don't have
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
And now we have, and it did a
Ooh.
good job of just like using the loading screen as a way to immerse you in the game just as much as anything else.
Yeah, I do know there are a couple games out there that don't even have loading screens. Like they will go straight from gameplay to the cutscene with no loading screen, nothing.
Right.
Which is amazing. So we'll have to talk about that later. Moving on. Other than that, I think it was such a good So let's get a little off of Spider-Man for a moment here. I kind of want to compare the two of the Arkham series and Spider-Man.
Okay.
Let's go with Arkham Knight, the newer Batman.
Okay.
So if we look at both of them, Spider-Man's upsides for that so good. Like the movement is so great.
Yeah.
And of course you have Spider-Man who doesn't have a vehicle, but he has his webs, which is way more fun than driving around in a Batmobile. Not to.
It's better than maybe the tank battles, but
Oh yeah, that was
Batmobile itself is just as fun.
okay. Maybe. And so, but I find that Batman's like stealth / taking down strongholds in the game a lot better than Spider-Man's, because one, Batman's enemies always fought in a way of like taking out where he can go, like taking out the
Right.
ledges, taking down the vents. Spider-Man, I never
good
really
job at that in like the final one, right? Because like that was like the first 3 games was like, all right, get to the ledges,
Yeah.
and you'll be able to just stealthily do whatever you have to do.
Mhm.
Whereas they did a really good job, of taking that away in the fourth, which makes sense with who the villain is, but I won't go into that.
Yeah. Enough about the Arkham games. But yeah, so like Spider-Man, they don't do that. I've never seen it. I don't know if you've ever seen them take out like ledges.
No.
I definitely see like maybe them. There's definitely times when the enemy would like look up at a ledge and see you, but other than that, you could just be like right above them and they won't see you. But some of the great concepts of Spider-Man, the combat.
Yeah.
Combat is so fun. Webbing people, so fun. It's even fun when you knock them off a building and they just get webbed randomly. Do you have anything to say about this stuff?
So yeah, if I'm comparing the two, like I said, I agree. The stealth in Batman is superior, and like they do such a good job of making it hard. Whereas in Spider-Man, like the stealth, it's either there or not. Like you can't go back into it, type of a thing.
Yeah.
In the Miles Morales one, you can flash in a way, but you can go back into it. So it makes it more difficult in a way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's more the combat itself that is just so well done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everything that you can use, the gadgets, everything just makes it super, super fun.
And I will say they did a good job with like the Spider-Man gadgets.
I agree.
Because you've got like your spider drone, I don't even remember all of them, your electric webs, your...
Like, I guess with the Arkham games, like the gadgets you get and stuff make a lot of the game easier. But like the combat itself, it just kind of makes you more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in the Spider-Man game, a lot of it has to do with combat, and it makes it more things you can do.
Yeah.
It makes it more technical, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
yes, you're more powerful, but it also just like makes you more technical.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Moving on from that, was there anything else you think that needs to be said about that type of stuff? No. All right, I want to talk about some of the enemies that you would be fighting in this.
Okay.
So we're just gonna go starting off with the basic enemy. You just fight your normal thug.
Yep.
Not bad. I think I had a little trouble with maybe a couple thugs, but if you get overwhelmed, you get overwhelmed. Then you get your shield thugs. Your lovely shield guys. Those guys are annoying. I hate them to the max.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm so used to playing on PC, like playing it on controller was they were so much harder to fight on controller.
Oh yeah,
PC.
Yeah, and then you go to your the normal thugs, but they have guns. They can be annoying, but I always find myself in these type of games in a rhythm of like take out the guns first, then the shield, then the normal thugs,
Right.
because you're just like, I know who to take out first, so I can take them out, and I find myself in that rhythm all the time. I think there's, let's see, what other guys am I missing?
There's any like normal thugs just with like power ups,
Oh,
There's
yeah,
the guys
yeah.
with the gauntlets
Mm-hmm.
and the armor and. I'm just getting the two confused, because they both kind of have the same Miles Morales one.
Yeah,
So I
I
don't
think
remember which ones have which, but
Yeah. Well, I do know. So, and then we have the big brute guys. Those guys are annoying. I hate them. They are actually worse than shields. They're worse than shields.
They are definitely annoying. Yeah. Just like regular attacks don't work. You have to.
Yeah. Sable.
Sable.
Yeah.
Very different than in the comics. Well, in the older comics. They're like the same in a way.
I hate fighting Sable guys. Like, so you're supposed to go, when going to a Sable stronghold, you're supposed to free people, take out some communications, I think, and that's about it. Every time, I think they even have Sable guys who are able to scan for you or something. I'm not sure. I might be thinking of Miles Morales.
Yeah, in Miles Morales, they had ones that could scan for you. In the Spider-Man, they had the drones.
Yeah, I hate the drones.
I don't remember what else.
Yeah. Oh, grapple. That's what it was. The electric grapples.
Yep.
Hate those. Sometimes I find myself dodging one of those out of nowhere sometimes, and I'm like, what just happened?
Right.
Other than that, yeah, fighting the enemies, going into the strongholds are actually really, really fun. I enjoy them. Does give you a different feel than the Arkham games, but other than that, really good. Okay, then we move on to side missions or or just collectibles. There we go, collectibles.
So fun. Love the backpacks. Love all the collectibles.
Yeah, the collectibles are fun.
The landmarks.
The landmarks. Oh, that's good.
Were super fun.
Do you get in those landmarks? You're supposed to pull out his camera and take a picture. That's a really unique design right there. I like that. Yeah, just all that. And then I love what you get from a lot of them. Yep. You get like suits, you get power-ups, stuff like that. Yeah, they're really, really fun. I enjoy them.
Yeah, the combat ones are fun. The speed ones are fun, except for the stupid birds. I hate those things.
Oh, those pigeons. Oh my goodness.
But they are so fun. Like, you get a swing and you get to practice your swinging and everything. And swinging is so fun.
I know you need it.
I do need it. And they were so annoying. There's definitely ones that are fun, but the first ones when you're like figuring it out.
Yeah.
And I feel like they were kind of like the hardest ones too. Could be that I wasn't as good, but man, they were not fun. But then they got more fun. The combat rounds. What else? Yeah, all the side missions were super fun. Of course, the crime in progress.
Those, the crime alerts or whatever.
Yeah, I know it's called Crime in Progress in the Arkham series. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember what they're called, but we're gonna call them crime
Miles
alerts.
Morales, it's also fantastic with the app.
Oh,
I don't remember exactly how they did it. It was just,
it's like you pull up your phone and you're able to see.
But yeah, I've always that's always a really fun aspect of those type of games, and they did it really well.
Oh yeah, and I'm hoping they kind of do something
Except for car
similar.
chases are still annoying, whether you're Batman or Spider-Man.
I actually find them quite enjoyable.
They're just repetitive and
True, they are very
obnoxious.
repetitive, but when you get to stop a car, that's fun.
And I always fail. I always fail at not.
Well,
getting
yeah, I
hurt
haven't
or
had
whatever.
Spider-Man catch a car. He's holding it up.
I know, and I fail. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to press. I like press square once. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to press it a bunch of times. Every time I forget.
Why do you forget? It's easy.
I don't know. I'm not a gamer.
Yeah, so collectibles are just very, very enjoyable. Other
Yeah,
than
all
that,
those collectibles, the suits are really fun. The gadgets are super fun. The trophies are fun.
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
them are cool.
yeah. So moving on from that, let's talk about some boss fights.
All right. We already talked about a couple: Scorpion, Vulture, Rhino. They're all, good. They're like, yeah, they are kind of generic, but they're really good generic, right?
Yeah, like
They definitely
feel like Spider-Man.
yeah. And the Ock, so hard. So hard. It's so fun. Man,
What's your favorite?
hard. Not Vulture.
Oh yeah, I hate the Vulture and Electro one. That one's so annoying. But I think I finished that one way faster than you did. I'm sorry.
It was probably, man, I feel like it was Scorpion and Rhino, even though that one was super annoying. Like, the rhythm you got into was really fun, though.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And what about you?
I like mine's Scorpion and Rhino. I love that one because you have to like just fighting an unstoppable force.
Yeah.
And then while you're watching this unstoppable force, you have somebody throwing objects at you.
Yeah, it was like fighting like a close range combatant and a ranged combatant at the same time as it was something else.
So clever. I loved it.
Yeah, and they did a good job of like taking away some of like your strongest things too, with like not being able to be too much in the air and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It was so well done.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Doc Ock, as you said, really, really good. You never told me your favorite, but
I said I think it was Scorpion and
what about Negative?
it was good. Like those boss fights, there's like it's kind of hard to separate the fight itself from like all the cutscenes and everything when you're in like a final boss fight.
Well, of course, for you it is.
That's what I said.
Oh, didn't hear you say that.
But it was good. A little long for my taste.
Of course. A little. You could say all of them were a little long.
Like that one, it like forced it to be long. Like the other ones were long because I stick them anyway. But that one was long just because there was so much information they were pouring in there.
Yeah. Well, he was the dude.
Right.
Okay. So moving on from boss fights, I guess, to the whole story. We're gonna try not to reveal anything here, but
The story as a whole, I thought was really good. It, like you said, felt like Spider-Man. The gameplay did, the story did. The way you had to figure things out, the way you had to fight each different. The story was cohesive. It also like told a story that you felt like fit in a Spider-Man world. The world just felt, good. It felt like a modernized Spider-Man without it being like changed too much, but still being like in a world that you can see and feel. I thought like his relationship with everybody was really well done. You felt the like emotions, you felt the struggles, you felt all of it really well. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I loved it. I also just realized that we are forgetting one character here. Norman Osborn.
Okay.
He's kind of the one who hired Sable
Yeah. I'm trying to
and her crew.
of
So his relationship with Harry, it's kind of interesting. Like he was similar to the comics,
You actually
but so
never
different.
see Harry in the whole.
Right. He just gets talked about.
Yeah, but I think it was very well
Have you
done.
seen videos of him?
Maybe, I don't know, but I do know that you have to go to these stations
Yeah.
and do a bunch of small stuff like fix the water pipes or something. And they kind of told a small story through that with
Right. Yeah. I think they did a good job of setting it. Like I do definitely think he will be like the main villain going forward. And I think they did a good job of setting that up. I think they did a good job of like teasing Green Goblin. I think they did a good job of showing the relationship between Harry and Peter, and then the relationship between Harry and his father. I did not like sneaking around as MJ in the.
Oh yeah,
Apartment.
yeah. That is one thing that did take away from like playing a Spider-Man
Yeah.
and stuff. Like I understand I understand it, but at the same time we're here for Spider-Man. I'm sorry, MG, but we're here for
Right.
Spider-Man.
I think that, like I said with Doc Ock, they did a good job of portraying aspects of Norman Osborn without like keeping him exactly the same.
Yeah.
They kind of combined him with some like crime boss and stuff. So I think they did a good job with him.
Okay, okay. Anything else we want to talk about?
No,
There is one big question I do want to ask here, and we
Okay.
can run through it real quickly here. What villains would you have liked to see in this Spider-Man scene that weren't it?
Craven.
Spider-Man scene, Spider-Man game.
I think Craven with like all like people being hired and stuff, especially to come after him, he like just fits. He fits
Oh,
really
yeah.
well with that story. Also, he would have been really fun to see. Like he's very much fights on honor and things.
Mm-hmm.
Gets the job done, all that. I think that would just made a lot of sense for him to be hired to take out Spider-Man by either Norman Osborn or Negative Man, and then realizing like how bad that they were, and like saying like I won't do this,
Mhm.
or finding respect for Spider-Man or whatever. He would fit for sure. Really hope he's in later ones.
Probably just more maybe hired
So
guns
Yeah,
would usually
like
fit this type
like I
of
was
story.
saying with I mean, since we have Kingpin, we have Tombstone. You always think Hammerhead,
Yeah.
the original,
You good there?
Silvermane,
Mm-hmm.
Shocker.
I would like to see Shocker.
A lot of those hired hands. But I would have liked to see, since they're kind of setting up multiple people's like crime families, to see a Silvermane would have been really interesting. So that we saw like a big picture.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have kind of set up later on. I don't know if that's the way they're going, but that would have been kind of fun. And then, yeah,
Okay.
kind
Okay.
of left a lot to look forward to.
I was thinking of someone. What about? Oh no, actually, Taskmaster is in the game.
Yep.
That's right. I forgot. I was about to ask. What about
One thing I
Taskmaster?
liked about the world and stuff is it felt like a world that you could bring in other Marvel characters and it fit,
It did have Avengers Tower.
Right. I don't know what the whole game rights deal is, what Sony and Marvel's deal is on the game front.
Mm-hmm.
They need to just give Sony all the game rights and Sony give Marvel all of this.
Yeah. I
movie rights.
absolutely agree.
But, I would love to see a Blade or a Moon Knight in this
Mhm.
world, for sure.
Oh, that would be so cool. I do so. Moving down the Marvel path, not really Spider-Man right now, but I do want to say a couple things. We have Spider-Man 2. I do hear there is don't know what it's going to be called, but I do hear there's going to be a Logan video game.
Yep.
And I don't know if they're going to try and do the whole same style as Spider-Man and Arkham. Like they're going to.
Seems like it'll be similar.
Yeah. I haven't seen much news on it. But that's about it.
I think it's supposed to come out next summer, right?
I believe so. I'm not sure.
We'll have this information when we get to upcoming.
Exactly. Exactly. We're going to do a little upcoming of video games here of Marvel. And then, of course, we have Midnight Suns, I think,
Yep.
and all that stuff. So moving on from upcoming video games, we'll talk more about that later. Yeah. Is there anything else we want to talk about for this main video game? Should we talk about expectations for the new Spider-Man game?
No, I don't know. I don't have any.
Okay. Well, that was going 3 different ways.
I was not planned for this.
All right. Well, that is fine. So I'll say what I expect from the new Spider-Man game. I do expect there to be possibly a bigger world in the game for us to explore and stuff, more villains, and possibly just completely new villains and none of the old ones. My expectation is we're going to be getting Green Goblin, maybe Raven the Hunter. I would love to see him in that game. We might get Venom. I would love to see Venom pop up in a Spider-Man game. Who else am I forgetting? Maybe even Carnage. That wouldn't really make sense, but yeah, maybe Carnage. Carnage might be a good little villain to pop up. Other than that, that's who I've expecting to show up in the game. Story-wise, I don't know. I have no idea what to expect. I'm assuming it might go into the realm of Spider-Man versus Venom or something else. I don't know if they'll really show other heroes pop up in the new Spider-Man game, but that would be really, really cool to see. Yeah, that's what I've got for upcoming. That's what I got for expecting for the new Spider-Man game.
Okay.
All right, shall we move on to upcoming?
Sure. There's a couple of things I'd like to talk about in the movie world real quick here before we get into upcoming stuff, just because there were a few announcements. I think you might have some Star Wars stuff.
I've got some Star Wars stuff.
All right, well, yeah. So, like I said, this we're just talking about what has been announced, and so the things that we had some new She-Hulk footage released. There looks like there might be more cameos than I thought before. But anyways, that's speculation, I guess.
Okay, that's...
we got more footage, and yeah, we also got...
What did we get?
More I Am Groot footage, which will be coming out next week. So I'll just say, what my expectation on that real quick, since we'll be doing our review, I guess, of it next week when it comes out. Also, there's 6 episodes we know. There is going to be rockets going to be in some of them. I don't think any of the Guardians are going to be in it. Doesn't sound like.
Not even Rocket, right?
I said Rocket is confirmed to be in a couple episodes.
Well, okay, what is my problem with not listening to you today?
And then it looks really fun. Footage has been interesting. You get into details about what each episode is, but we don't need to. We can talk about that next week. And I feel like there's something else I'm missing, but we'll talk about stuff after.
Okay.
So what do you got for science?
So, like I've said before, I've just been focused on Andor. Haven't really looked at any other Star Wars stuff. This week is absolutely true. I've just been focused on Andor.
All right.
A new trailer was dropped.
Okay.
And I'm really excited to share some of this stuff. So, I'll talk about my expectations. I have a lot of not my expectations, my theories of the show and after party, of course. But what I do have confirmed is, and something I never knew before, but apparently Andor's family was apparently separatists.
Okay.
I never knew that, which kind of gives him more reason to be like, oh, I'm going to kill everybody. I need to shoot this guy, but I won't really.
Okay.
But other than that, we also get a lot of shots of possibly younger Andor. That's something I will say here. Not sure exactly, but there are a lot of shots of just this kid just walking around and stuff. And then we also get a couple more shots of clone troopers. And then we also get more shots of the local police, which is kind of interesting. Like, I'm very interested what the local police have to do with any of this. I still have no idea what type of story this is going to be, like what they're going for in this, because, like, oh my goodness, give me something. But not only that, I think I confirmed something. I'm going to say I confirmed something. This could just be me really reaching out there, but the dude who I said was a rebel leader, I think he is supposed to be a senator in the Empire, who apparently talks with Mon Mothma quite a bit. So it's interesting that he might be a senator. Why he's leading the rebellion himself, that's something for a whole nother day. I don't know. Also, some other news. Andor did get pushed back again to September 21st.
Well, that's literally right during SD20 or yeah,
During what?
Disney's
Oh, okay. I was SD20. Are we talking in code now?
yes, whatever it's called. D20
Plus day?
D20.
Yeah, so other than that, we do get some look at we get more looks of like Venator class star cruisers, aka the Clone Wars star cruisers, little big guys, getting dismantled, possibly being reworked to be the Imperial Star Destroyers. But we get more looks at that. We also get more looks at like some other stuff of like the Imperials. We get another look of the Senate chambers, and it looks like really clean. Like, it looks less hectic than the Clone Wars Senate chambers, which is weird. It's just something different about it. That scene just makes it look so much different. I don't know what it is, but it makes it look different. Other than that, there was something else. Oh no, I'm losing it. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh yes. We get a look at a man who has 4 arms.
General Grievous.
No. This is a fleshy dude. It's kind of a weird. I'm not
Okay.
He has.
Call him Faddle.
Well, he's got 4 arms. He looks human, but it's just he just looks weird. I don't know. He looks like he's holding a syringe, and he looks like he's gonna stab somebody with it and inject somebody. And we also see Andor standing off to the side. What that could be, I have no idea. Other than that, there was one scene that I'm forgetting. Oh, we also see Andor, I think, either within the Empire. Looks like he may have joined the Empire for a bit, or he's with the local police, and he's joined the local police, and then the Empire comes in. Then he's like, "Oh, we gotta stop them and stuff." I don't know. We'll look at that. We'll talk more about that later. Yeah. So that's all I got for Andor. Any questions you have? No. You sure?
I'm confused. But
Yeah, you weren't really listening, were you?
I was 100% listening to every word. There's fucking guy. Police.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much happening, and I just don't know what type of story we're getting. We get more shots of this one Imperial, white shirt Imperial, looking over this hologram. I haven't been able to look at this hologram closely enough to really know what they're looking at. Could be like a workstation, maybe a prison. I don't know. But yeah, I'll look more at it and give you guys something in the after party.
Okay.
So moving on to upcoming is there any more Marvel stuff? Okay, video games. Cool.
I don't think there's any Marvel stuff. A lot of speculation that we'll get into. there's some trailers that like aren't necessarily speculation that I've like watched breakdowns of, but they're not out to the public yet. So I kind of feel like I need to talk about those in after party. But anyways, so Spider-Man 2 is supposed to come in 2023, as is Wolverine supposed to come late 2023.
All right.
There's not official release dates on those yet, and Midnight Suns is October 7th, 2022. So that should be coming out in the next few months.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
So I will add a little Star Wars game here. We are supposed to be getting Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It's supposed to be the prequel of Jedi Fallen Order.
Okay.
So I haven't looked much at it, but it does look really fun. Looks like we'll get possibly some more mechanics added into the game. But yeah, we'll have to talk a little bit about Jedi Survivor at some point. I mean, Fallen Order. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah, maybe I'll have to actually play it. And of course, for all you PC gamers, the Spider-Man game will be coming to your PCs this week or next week.
I think it's this week.
Saturday, right?
Yeah, this Saturday,
6th
I think.
or 7th, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's a Saturday.
But we will see you all next week.
No, you will not.
Bye.
You will never see us again. No, we got to talk about upcoming for Back and Forth.
Back and Forth. What are we doing next week? Well, we've got...
Continue, please.
Okay. So next week we'll be doing our expectations for She-Hulk.
Yep, She-Hulk is coming out not next week, but the week after that.
17th.
Yep.
And we'll be talking Baby Groot.
Oh, yeah, and Baby Groot as well. That's going to be fun to talk about. I'm kind of interested in this show.
Yeah.
A little interested.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun little 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's supposed to be like an hour total. Like they're each like 10 minutes. 15
Really?
minutes long, short.
Better not be like that Groot and Raccoon.
Well, let's hope
Rocket.
it's just as good.
Oh my goodness. Other than that, Thursday I am going to be streaming some more Five Nights at Freddy's, so stay tuned for that. If you're all wondering why the video hasn't gone up yet for the past stream, it's just because I had so many problems during the stream that I have to cut out and stuff, so it's taken me a while to get that done.
And our movie review of Red Hood will be coming.
Oh yeah,
Hopefully soon.
Yep, we were supposed to do it.
We don't need to talk about that. We'll get it done soon.
Yeah, we were supposed to do it.
Yes, Batman on his Red Hood movie review will be coming.
Yep, I'm excited to talk about this one because I really want to talk about the animations and all that.
All right. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Then
for
we
back.
will see you all next week.
Don't put yourselves inside a box.